Many business owners and sales executives believe that sales is about pitching and explaining and convincing. But high level sales is the exact opposite. For you to be able to sell more and sell in an easy way, you need to care more about the prospect or the client. You need to care more about their world, the problem they want to solve, and the outcome or the solution that you are going to deliver for them. Now, to be able to make that transition, you need to be able to ask a lot of questions, a lot of smart questions that transit you from your own world and your own reasons to close a deal to their own world and why it may be that they need your product or your service. So, today we're going to talk about 4 questions that are super important to transit you from your own world to their world in order to make sales very easy for you. So let's get in. So the first type of question is what we call the problem question. The problem question. So for the problem type question, these types of questions allow you to break the ice. It gets the clients to open up and gets them to tell you exactly why they are talking to you in the first place. So the purpose is to open them up. So we can also say to break the ice. An example of these kinds of questions is, what is your biggest frustration with X? Or what is your toughest challenge with Y? Or what problem are you facing around X or Y? So we can say, biggest frustration with X. So that's an example of the problem type question. So here you're trying to bring out what challenge that you're looking to solve for the person in the first place. And it's super important because for a business itself to exist, there needs to be certain problems. There needs to be not so great situations that people have that they want to solve or overcome. So make sure you uncover those problems. So that's the first one. Now, the second type of question is what we call the impact question. The impact question. So for this type of question, we're trying to get the prospect or the client to connect their current pain or whatever problem they have with the consequences of that problem. So it's more like pain equals effect, right? So the purpose here is to connect pain to consequences. So we help the clients to connect their current pain to the consequences or the effects of those problems. And an example could be, what is this problem currently costing you? Or what is the effect of this problem? Or what has been the effect of this problem? And the prospect begins to tell you what the problem has caused in their lives for what period of time and all of that. And once that is zoned in on, it makes your solution way more valuable. It gets the clients to put a frame around that pain, making your solution way more valuable. So an example here is, what is this problem costing you? So that's an example. Now you can have so many different examples of this type of question. This is called the impact question. All right, so we'll move on to the third one. A third type of question is what we call the future question. The future question. Now, what does this mean? So, this type of question gets the prospect or the client to think about transformation. So, they have a problem currently, they have a pain they want to resolve. There's an effect of that pain or some kind of consequences they are going through. Now, they want to resolve that problem through you. So, you need to be clear of what that picture looks like. When you get to that transformation, that desired result, what is it going to look like? So, the purpose of the future type of question is to get the client to focus on transformation. So, focus on transformation. So, the purpose here is to get the prospect to focus on transformation. So, an example of the future type of question can be, what would it look like when we solve this problem for you in the next, say, 90 days? Or what will success look like? That's a good question to ask. So you want to know in a year from now, in 2 years, depending on what type of service or product that it is, what transformation is clearly going to look like for that client. Remember, everyone has a picture in their mind. They have a picture of the perfect world that they want to achieve. You're trying to tease that out so that once you get to the transformation, it's super clear that you've delivered the results. So an example is, what will success look like? So what will success look like? All right, now the final type of question is what we call the fit question. So the fit type of question is trying to get the client to tell you why they feel you're a good partner or why they feel that you can resolve the problem for them. Now, the purpose here is to get the client to sell to themselves. Now, when you position like that, you're getting the client tell you why they need to work with you or why they believe you're the best person to solve their problems. Now, this needs to be done in a very tactful way because the clients also feel they're the prize usually. So you need to ask this question in a way that gets the client to freely tell you why they believe that you can help with such a problem. So the purpose here is to get the client to sell to themselves. The purpose is to get the clients to sell to themselves. An example is, why do you believe that we can help with this problem you have? Right? So, why do you believe we can help? Now, in my experience with this question, many clients are taken aback because they don't expect you to ask something like that. It feels like you're ready to walk away if they're not a good fit for your business. But it's very important you ask this question because it gets clients to rethink about why they're talking to you in the first place and why they believe that you can help with such a problem. But in that process, you're helping them to sell your product or your service to themselves. All right, so these are the 4 questions. The first one is a problem type question, and then we have the impact type question, we have the future type question, and finally we have the fit type question. Now, these are the questions that are going to help you to make that transition from your own world into the world of the client. Just be genuinely curious and you will be able to understand where to place your offer. Sometimes your offer is not the best of solutions to the current solution, and that's fine. At the end of the day, you want to be able to get to that desired result for the client if you are to keep the client, have a long-term relationship. So remember, questions are the best answers when it comes to sales. So the more you can get good at asking smart questions, the better a sales personnel or executive or business owner that you become. So get good at asking great questions and you become the best at sales as well. To wrap up, these are the exact questions that are going to help you to transit from your own world into the world of the prospect or the customer. Remember, if you want to become a very good salesperson, then you need to be able to care more. And if you want to be able to care more genuinely, then you have to be able to ask smart questions. So ask questions around the problem, around the impact that the problem is causing, around what future results look like or what the transformation would feel like, and finally around the fit. So whether they're a good fit for your offer or your product. And if you're able to do this, you're going to be able to sell more and sell in a better way. All right. If you found this video helpful, make sure you give a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.